Okay, hello everyone. Hope you're all well. So, this is session 11 of the RIAK Discovery series. So, welcome, and the penultimate session in the series. And for anybody that is new to these sessions, don't worry. It doesn't matter that we're at session 11. Every session is different. Basically, every session is an attempt to discover something about yourself as a rider. Explaining how we're doing that in this session a little bit later. Just got just over 10 seconds till we get cracking. So let's get ready then, guys. This is a fun one. We enjoyed this session when we did this with our squad athletes. So here we go. Right then. So we're just going to start off with the normal 10-minute warm-up. So plenty of time to kind of get everything in order. Chat, it's going to be annoying. Yeah, so plenty of time to get things in order. For anybody that is new, for anybody that is watching the live stream, my name is Rich. I'm the founder and head coach at RIAK Fitness. We're a coaching outfit, and we're looking after cyclists and triathletes, pretty much any endurance athlete that's crazy enough to get involved with this stuff. You'll see the various adverts running at the top above me, which tell you what we're up to really, but encourage you to check out our website. In particular, we're improving our on-demand content all the time, and we'll soon be releasing some really cool new stuff on there actually, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, back to the session. This is week 11, and this is what we're calling blind pacing efforts. So basically, guys, what we're evaluating here is your ability to kind of hit targets or hold targets without having targets. Okay, so basically we're seeing how good you are at hitting a certain power just off field. Okay, don't be too alarmed. If you're not familiar with the training zones or particular targets that if you're relatively inexperienced, don't worry, it's really not a big deal. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to be kinder to you guys than we have been to our squad athletes, because we basically just said, right, hit 70% of FTP, or hit 4 out of 10 effort, should be 70%, and then basically told them and then expected them to kind of hit the power target without even looking at the screen. But what we're going to do after the 10-minute warm-up, we then got some fast pedaling efforts, then got a little cruise section, and it's during that cruise section after the fast pedaling efforts I'm going to encourage you to turn erg mode off. So the way to do that, and I say don't do this now, I'll tell you when to do it shortly. The way to turn erg mode off is to go to the sensors menu in RGT. Top right hand corner is an erg tab, and I'll just prompt you to turn that off. What that will do is then your trainer, if you're using a smart trainer or a smart bike, your trainer will then just simulate the course, which is pan flat, so you shouldn't have to do anything else beyond that. But that's what we're looking to do basically. We don't want the trainer kind of reacting to the power targets. We want it to all be you. So that's after the warm-up. And then basically, guys, it's quite simple what we're up to. So as you can see, it's just a very long build, a steps build all the way through the session with some easy riding in between. Kind of like, what's it called? When you're doing a tasting and a palate cleanser in between each of the steps. That's what we're calling easy riding these days. And yeah, we're just going up in steps, and basically what we're going to do, we do half the interval with you being able to see the target, okay, and then the second half of the interval I'm just going to get you to shut your eyes and try and hold that target as best you can. Now obviously when we get to the sprints, we're not going to bother shutting our eyes or messing around, we're just going to do some sprints. But basically for the 1, 2, 3, or what's that, 5 efforts, 5 previous steps, we're going to take it seriously and we're going to be shutting our eyes. Each of those steps, those 5 steps before the sprints, they are 3 minutes long. So you're going to be having your eyes shut for about 90 seconds at a time. So just make sure, you know, you've got a safe environment around you or whatever. If you're on a static trainer, it'd be impressive if you manage to hurt yourself, but not unheard of. So yeah, just have a little look around, just make sure there's no obstacles. Keep pets away, children away, loose articles of clothing, all the other disclaimers that I probably should come out with when I'm asking people to shut their eyes while cycling. Definitely don't do this session outside, which hopefully goes without saying, but you never know, you never know. Anyway, right, so working our way through the warm-up. Every 2 minutes or so, power is going to increase by about 6 to 10 watts. 6 to 10 watts. Been a long day. So just pedaling nice and easy, keeping your cadence nice and high, looking for a leg speed of upwards of 80 RPM, and just chilling out, getting the fluids on board, generally getting yourself settled for hopefully quite a fun session ahead. As I say, our squad athletes really enjoyed this one because it was a bit different. But then you might just ask yourself, right, it's a bit of fun, but why? What's the point? Why do I need to do this? Well, as I say, this Discovery series is all about kind of figuring stuff out about yourself and figuring out how good you are at pacing without the wonderful help of a power meter or erg mode is actually pretty important. You do any kind of racing, even if you're just like a sportive rider, you know, many people don't have power meters out on their road bikes. And even if you do, you'll be well versed, I expect, in how often technology can fail you. So there's going to be plenty of scenarios where you're not going to have power data or trusty power targets to hand. Racing is the obvious one. Any kind of crit racing or road racing, you know, you can't look down at your power very often. It's just too scary. So, you know, you're head up all the time and you're having to use kind of your instincts to pace things as you go. So very numerous reasons why being able to pace by field is important. Those are just a few. So that's kind of what we're working on. So in terms of looking back over the data, you want to look at the second half of each of the steps and seeing how you get on. Now though, coming up towards the final step of the warm-up, and then we're going to get into those fast pedaling efforts. So those fast pedaling efforts, those little spikes, they're basically 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, times 10. And they're quite high powered, guys. So you see we're up to threshold. Okay, so I need to concentrate for those. So after the next 2 minutes, over the next 2 minutes or so, just give yourself the wake up, get the fluids on board, slap yourself across the face with a wet fish, whatever you have to do, or get Will Smith to do it for you. Yeah, I know popular culture. I think I've already made that joke this week, actually. So forgive me if you heard that one. Anyway, here we are into the final step of the warm-up. Just nice and relaxed. Leg speed should be above about 80 RPM now. And we get ready to go. So just a quick reminder, guys, these sessions are interactive. Using structured workouts, it's a little bit less so because people just concentrate on what they're doing. But do always feel free to ask questions if you've got any. For those guys that are joining us on Zoom, obviously just unmute yourself and ask away, or you can use the Zoom chat. For those guys that are watching the live stream, you can leave comments here in the comment section and we pick them up as we go. And then likewise, you've got the RGT chat as well, which I can't actually see very well. It seems every other session it works for me on the RGT remote. Tonight, in this session, it's not working for me, so I have to squint and borderline ingest my screen to try and read it. Anyway, so just about 45 seconds until we hit those fast pedaling efforts. So they come quick and fast. It's 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So no messing around, all about kind of waking you up, getting the fast twitching muscle fibers going, and just getting the old body ready for a bit of hard work. Okay, so about 10 seconds till we get started on those fast pedaling efforts. So remember, there's a bit of juice behind them. So rev the legs up. Let's get ready to go. We're looking for leg speed over 100 RPM in each one. So here we go. Come on, rev those legs up. Okay, 1 down. 10 off. Okay, round 2, here we go. And relax. Okay, round 3. 10 seconds, come on, let's get those legs going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Rev them up. Get it going. Good. Then just soft pedal for a few. And then round 4, here we go. And relax. Okay, round 5. Here we are. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Just try and relax in your upper body, guys. Try not to bounce up and down in the saddle. Good. Okay, just a few more left. Keep it going, guys. Here we go, 6. And relax. Nearly through it. Okay, number 7, let's go. Remember, relax in the upper body, keep the bum planted. Soften those elbows. Good. Okay, 3 more, I think. There's a lot going on here. It's hard to keep track. 8. Here we go. Okay, right guys. So there's a couple left. Let's really rev them up, okay? Last couple of opportunities to get yourself going. Here we go. Round 9. Good. Alright guys. There's just one more left. Let's give this last one the beans. Off we go then. Last few seconds. And relax. Well done, guys. Okay, cool. Right, we're down to about 65% of FTP. So we're just cruising. Okay, guys. So what we're going to be working to is, obviously you got the power, but really what we're kind of looking to ingrain within us is how these efforts feel. Okay, so we're going to be using what's called the perceived rate of exertion scale. Basically what that means is just effort out of 10. So right now, about 65% of FTP, should be cruising along. Feels like a 3 out of 10, I would say. Okay, so just take stock of that, and that's, I think, something I really want to encourage you to do throughout the session, is just take stock of how the efforts feel. So the idea is that after doing this, if you're out on the road and someone's shouted at you, you know, right at sweet spot, you'd have a good chance of being able to hit that power quite quite easily. That's what we're kind of looking to kind of trigger in your mind, just that when you do sessions, you kind of take in how it feels, and you should be able to kind of get roughly to specific targets just by instinct. It's a genuine skill, guys. I'm not just making this stuff up. You can do it. Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the question was that each of these steps that we're going up by, are there an additional 1 on the RPE scale? Yeah, essentially, pretty much. Yeah, I will obviously kind of prompt you as we go through. So I think you will find it interesting to see kind of how that step up kind of plays out in real life. Okay, but now we're at about a 3 out of 10 effort, and this is where I'm going to prompt you to turn erg mode off. Okay, everything's nice and calm, got plenty of time, but let's turn that erg mode off. All right, so remember how to do that. You go to the sensors menu in RGT, top right hand corner is the erg tab, should be green, and you're just going to turn that off, and then just wait sort of 15 seconds or so, and then it will turn off, and then your trainer, if you're using a smart trainer or a smart bike at least, will start to simulate the course, which is pan flat. Okay, and then it's up to you to manage your gearing, manage your cadence, manage your power in order to hit the targets. Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes, so let's get all that sorted now, so we're not in a rush. So basically, guys, our first step is we're going up to 70% of FTP, or kind of like the middle, sort of top middle of zone 2, if people like to use those training zone terminology. Let's put it in a nutshell though, we're going to a 4 out of 10 effort. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start off eyes open, just getting a feel for the power, and then halfway through I'm going to prompt you to close your eyes, and the challenge to you then is to try and sustain that power for the final half of each of the blocks. Now in between the step ups, we're just going to cruise, and you can eyes open, just relax. Okay, but when we're doing each of those kind of evaluation steps, it's pay attention time, eyes shut halfway. Okay, so just got about a minute till we get involved with the first one. Remember, eyes open for the first half, but we're going up to 70% of FTP in just under 60 seconds time. Now, the interesting thing is, can you keep your cadence consistent as well? Now that is a secondary challenge which I throw down to you, because quite often when people shut their eyes, the legs slow down and they sort of get into pushing a big heavy gear. Well, not big heavy gear, but a heavier gear in essence. So let's see if you can maintain a good cadence upwards of 80 RPM through this next step, even when your eyes are closed. Okay, bring that to just over 10 seconds. Don't worry guys, you're going to have a workout as well, I promise you that. Okay, here we go then. So just steadily building up to 70% of FTP. Remember, keeping that cadence nice and high, probably looking for upwards about 85 RPM now. Okay, so just get yourself to the target with a nice high cadence, and just look to hold for the next minute or so. I will count you through the session, don't worry, I'm not just going to leave you with your eyes shut perpetually. I will tell you when it's up. 50 seconds until closing your eyes time. So remember, nice high cadence. Best to get that instilled now. Upwards of 85 RPM. Get your gearing settled. 30 seconds. Okay, get ready, guys. Pay attention to how this effort feels. Okay, we're about to close our eyes. 10 seconds. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes. All right, try and maintain that power. Okay, I will count you down as we go through. Just keep those eyes shut and try and keep that leg speed up. It's a pan flat course, so that will work in your favor. Should help you keep it consistent. Coming up, 60 seconds. Just keeping an eye on some of the numbers on the side. See how people are getting on. 45 seconds to go. Nice and steady for the last 30 seconds. Four out of 10 effort, remember. That's what this should feel like. 20 seconds. Okay, we're going to open our eyes in 10 seconds, and when we do, make sure we get a quick snapshot of the average power. See how you've done. 3, 2, 1. Okay, eyes open, quick. See that average power before it disappears. And just take note, how well did you go through? A big part of this session is actually going back afterwards and having a look through, seeing how big a deviation there is. Okay. We'll see, have a look at that in Training Peaks or whatever software you use. For now though, we're back down to about 65% of FTP, just cruising for 2.5 minutes. This is our palate cleanser, remember. I'm very proud that I remembered that phrase. So the next one, so that's zone 2. That's what we call zone 2. That's kind of like your endurance riding effort, or thereabouts. The next step we're going to do, we're going up to what's called zone 3, also known as tempo riding. Okay, translates as 80% of FTP, or a 6 out of 10 effort. Okay, that's where we're going next. So same drill, first half sighted, second half unsighted, and it's kind of from here on upwards where things get a bit interesting. Because after sort of tempo level, you know, fatigue does start to play a factor. I'm not saying you're going to be knackered, but it does start to play a bit more of a factor as you go up through sweet spot, threshold, and up to VO2 max. So just nice and relaxed, nice and chilled. Keep an eye on your leg speed though. We want it always to remain upwards of about 85 RPM during the cruise intervals. Nice and efficient all the way through. So in terms of TSS, if you guys use Training Peaks or training software and like to quantify your efforts, we're only at about 59 TSS, but I will pretty much guarantee by the end of the session it'll feel a hell of a lot higher than that. Okay, so this is one of the easier sessions in theory. Don't know why I put bunny ears over theory, but in theory this is one of the easiest sessions in this series. But the amount of concentration it requires, I think, increases that TSS factor. So we're getting ready for the next step, going up to zone 3. 80% of FTP in 10 seconds time. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So this is sighted. So first 90 seconds you can keep your eyes open. We're going up to a 6 out of 10 effort. 80% of FTP, of course. Personally, I often find tempo efforts quite hard to pace. I'm a triathlete, generally speaking, but it's only really swimming where I find kind of working at this effort kind of relatively instinctive. On the bike and running, not so much. So something for me to work on there. But let's see how it goes for you. So spitting out 80% of FTP, lifting that leg speed up towards around 90 RPM if we can. 30 seconds, and then we do it unsighted. Okay, last few seconds, let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's close those eyes. Let's try and hold this. 6 out of 10. Effort. 80% of FTP. Should feel strong, but not a hard effort, okay? That's the word that I always think in my head when I think about this type of effort. You should feel strong, you should feel powerful, but not working hard. You can hold this power for a long time. You don't have to though. We're coming up to 60 seconds to go. Just coming up on 40 seconds left. So keep it nice and steady, nice high leg speed. "30 seconds left. Keep it steady, no big adjustments. Okay, 15 seconds, you need there, guys. Keep it going. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, eyes open. Eyes open. Well done. Back down to cruising level. Back down to around 65% of FTP. So that's zone 3. That's your 6 out of 10 covered. So next up, we've got what's called sweet spot. Okay, so sweet spot isn't actually a scientific term as such. It's basically just a point underneath your aerobic threshold, underneath your FTP, where you get a lot of the benefits of training at or around your FTP, but significantly less physiological demand. Okay, so usually it's set at around 90% of FTP, sweet spot, and that's what we're working with in this session. Okay, so if your FTP, 100% of FTP, we would stick at around an 8 out of 10. This next effort, sweet spot, just underneath that, is going to be a 7 out of 10. Okay? And as I say, it's where things start to get interesting. The efforts get pretty hard. And it's maintaining that consistency as you establish a little bit of fatigue. That's where it gets challenging. So for now, though, just cruise, keep the fluids coming on board, and just generally relax. Approaching 1 minute to go. So still riding nice and comfortably. Just an FYI guys, if you hear me telling you to relax, basically what I'm talking about there is pretty much your upper body. So breathing, so I'll just exaggerate. So a lot of people I see riding like this, all hunched up, straight armed. What I'm saying when I say relax is draw those shoulders away from the ears, soften the elbows, just loosen it up a little bit, because your upper body you want nice and relaxed and steady, and it's the legs doing the work basically, which they're going to need to do in about 35 seconds as we crank it up for 90 seconds sighted at sweet spot, or a 7 out of 10. And this is where things start to get hard. So if the previous effort was a strong effort, this is where we get to the cusp of working hard, okay? Or at least that's how it should feel. It's all relative, isn't it? Depends how you're on the day. So last few seconds, let's get ready to rev up. General rule is 90% of FTP, at least 90 RPM. So let's make sure we get that cadence up. Here we go. Build into it. Get that cadence up there. So just keep checking in with yourself. Just kind of analysing this feeling, this level of effort, analysing it and sort of storing it away. That's what we're looking to do really. Take the effort, the sensations you're feeling, and lock it away. So in particular, sweet spot effort is the type of effort you do in a time trial, okay? Or for those triathletes among us, the sort of effort, depending on your level, you might be able to put out in an Olympic distance triathlon, that 40k TT. If you're at the stronger end of the bike spectrum. So 30 seconds, then we're going to shut our eyes. For now though, just absorbing the sensations, keeping leg speed upwards of 90 RPM, and generally just kind of taking it all in. This is a very, very useful kind of training zone or effort. So let's really get it marked. Okay, last few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see if we can maintain with our eyes shut now. 90% of FTP, solid 7 out of 10, 90 RPM and above. Just maintaining what you were doing before, basically. Okay, that's 30 seconds down. Halfway, 45 seconds to go. Last 30 seconds you need there, keep it steady. That's it guys, keep it steady, well done. 20. Last 10 seconds then, keep it going all the way to the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, eyes open, quick grab of that average power. How did you do? All right? Yeah, suddenly this starts to become a bit more of a challenge, I'd say. So well done guys. Just remember guys, this is all about learning about yourself. Are you good at this? Is this natural for you? Or are you all over the shop? You know, it's all about learning, and basically you discover that perhaps this isn't natural and that you perhaps rely on erg mode and having targets, then do something about it. You know, it's really easy to do so. You know, just do this sort of stuff. Erg modes in particular Just by the way, guys, if you're interested in knowing more about what erg mode is, there is an article that I wrote on our website in the on the RIAK Online page in the training resources area. It's also on the RGT website on their blog page. It just goes into what erg mode is and when it is and isn't useful. But basically, guys, it can become a bit of a crutch. If you're only doing sessions called with erg mode on, yeah, you can lose some of your instinct, really. So I'm not saying don't use it, I'm just saying mix your training up. Do some sessions without. In particular, if you're doing any kind of sprint sets or anaerobic sets, I would suggest you don't want erg mode on for those pretty much ever, really. Because with anaerobic sets and sprint sets, ultimately what you're trying to do is go as hard as you can. And you're looking to hopefully discover some peak powers and improve. And you can't really do that if erg mode is limiting what you can put out. Okay? So just remember that one, guys. You discover this isn't your natural kind of comfort zone. Do something about it, because it's a super useful skill. Particularly if you're on a race and you know the sensations are telling you, well, actually I'm probably working too hard. It can be important tactically. You know, find yourself somewhere to hide, find someone with a big bum and just shelter behind them. You know, it's so many different scenarios in which having good instincts can play out. Okay, and it all comes down to just being able to equate kind of the perceived effort, the effort out of 10, with the power. So here we go, we're up to threshold in the next few seconds. We all know this one, I imagine, pretty well. Here we go. 2, 1, up we go. So first 90 seconds sighted. Let's make sure that leg speed's nice and high, upwards of 90 RPM again. Getting up to power, and then let's settle in. A big part of that settling in process is you've done the acceleration, now you're looking to hold, and you're looking to relax. So remember what I was saying, drawing those shoulders down, relaxing the elbows. Even when you're working hard, you want that upper body to be as relaxed as possible. It will actually help you produce more power, because your bum will be more planted on the saddle, giving yourself a stronger foundation to produce power. So this is 100% of FTP, 8 out of 10 effort. Just drink it in for another 30 odd seconds, and then we're shutting those little eyes of yours. Okay, good, guys. Just 15 seconds and then we close our eyes and see how we can get on when we're at an 8 out of 10 effort, working hard in sort of bold. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, close those eyes. Let's see if we can hit and hold FTP, 8 out of 10 effort, at least 90 RPM for another minute and 20 seconds. Well done, excellent stuff. Coming up to 60 seconds to go. There you go, 60 to go. $45, you're nearly there. Keep it steady. Last 30 seconds. Coming up, 20 seconds. Okay, final 10. All the way to the end, keep it going, stay focused. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, eyes open, crab. Quick glance at that average power. Now you've gotten on. So well done. Well done. As I say, this is where it starts to get interesting. It starts getting pretty hard. So you know the drill, guys. Just 3 minutes of relaxing. Just double checking what power we're going up to. Right, so yeah, this one is going to be especially interesting. So we're going up to zone 5, or kind of your VO2 max power range, where you're stressing your ability to take in oxygen. Okay, in terms of power, going up to 115% of FTP. This is a solid 9 out of 10 effort. Okay, for 3 minutes. This is going to be hard. Even harder when you've got your eyes shut, trying to keep it steady. Okay, so I did promise you a bit of a challenge. I would say this one in particular is where that challenge is. So nice and relaxed, keep the fluids coming on board. Pedaling nice and smoothly, keeping it above at least 80 RPM, remember. 85 would be better. So this is a very important power range coming up as we get increasingly anaerobic. This is your VO2 max range, or zone 5. This sort of effort is used very regularly on hard climbs and also in racing. When you're chasing that wheel down, closing the gap, those kind of longer drives where you're perhaps not fully anaerobic, you're pushing on the front, you're trying to break somebody behind you. This is the sort of effort. So typically your VO2 range is up to a max of about 8 minutes. Somewhere between about 3 and 8 minutes. Okay, we're at the shorter end, but with a big solid 115% of FTP. So let's get ourselves pumped up for this, guys. Just about 15 seconds till we get stuck in. First 90 is sighted, remember. Here we go then. Come on, guys. 9 out of 10, 115% of FTP. Get a nice high leg speed going, so we'll be well above 90, closer to 100 RPM. It's very easy, particularly at this level, to get suckered into pushing a slow cadence, heavy gear. We don't want that, okay? We want to stay efficient. We want to stay consistent. Because if your cadence slows right down, I guarantee you, your power output will become less smooth. There'll be bigger fluctuations per pedal stroke. Okay, so we want a nice high cadence to try and keep that power consistent, particularly when it comes to our eyes shut. Okay, well done, guys. No messing around now, is there? This is working hard. Okay, 30 seconds then, we're going to really test your ability to stay on that edge instinctively. It's a hard thing to do, to make yourself without kind of the whip or power targets keeping you where you need to be. Let's see if you can hold it. 15 seconds till we get there. Come on, guys, you can do this. Let's stay strong. Let's keep the power consistent. Nice high cadence, remember. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Eyes shut then. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Keep that power nice and steady. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep pushing. This is a 9 out of 10 effort, remember. Ready, 60 seconds left. Come on, keep it going. .45 to go. Keep driving it, keep driving it. Don't allow that leg speed to drop, otherwise the power will drop. So keep it steady. .30 seconds. Nearly there, nearly there. Coming up to 20 to go. Keep pushing all the way to the end. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And eyes open. Well done, guys. Oh, well done. Okay. Really well done, guys. Relax. You're going to need a bit more recovery, but get your breath back and then straight back up to the target. Okay. Spinning the legs up, getting back above 80 RPM. So just 2 more efforts to go. Okay, and these are both anaerobic. So this time, guys, I'm not going to get you to shut your eyes because I do kind of want you to stay upright. When you're sprinting, it's very easy to get it wrong. All right, but this first one that's coming up, we're going up to zone 6. Now this is kind of, zone 6 is basically kind of the total amount of work you can do in an anaerobic state. Okay, so max effort, but basically a very long sprint. So this is a minute long. All right, and as I say, what I want you to do really is for the first 30 seconds you can keep your eyes on the target, and then the second 30 seconds I want you just kind of looking down, not really paying attention, but still eyes open because I don't want you toppling over. Okay, so it's basically the same drill as before but much shorter, and we're just kind of looking away from the screen rather than shutting our eyes. And then for that final sprint at the end, we're not just going to mess around, we're just going to have a sprint basically, because it's all out action. When it comes to the sprinting, guys, the targets are arbitrary really, because as I say, what we're really measuring or looking for is your anaerobic effort, and that's really hard to quantify in terms of power. It's actually kind of usually worked out in terms of kilojoules, okay, in terms of energy expenditure. So really the targets are slightly arbitrary, but for the first one at least we'll stick with it. That finishing sprint, we'll just go for it. Okay, so let's get revved up now, guys. All right, let's get ready to work hard. This is a 10 out of 10 effort extended over a full minute. Okay, 30 seconds sighted, 30 seconds looking down, looking to hold. Get ready. Okay. Rev up the legs, guys. Getting well above 90 RPM. Let's get ready to go to battle. Here we go then. Push it, guys. Come on, lift it. The target we're going up to is 140% of FTP, so you can keep your eyes on that for the first 30 seconds just to get you up to speed. So 15 more seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, looking down then, looking to maintain. $20 seconds to go. Last 10. 5, 4, all the way to the end. 3, 2, 1. Yes, guys, well done. Well done. Eyes open. Looking at that screen, chilling out. Spin up the legs quickly as soon as you got your breath back. Bringing the power back up to target. Bringing the leg speed back up above 80 RPM. We've got just one more effort, guys. And then you're done. Okay, and we're not messing around on this final one. It's just a sprint, just go as hard as you can. Okay, on this final effort, it's 20 seconds long. The target we're giving you is somewhere around 200% of FTP. But as I say, it's totally arbitrary. Really, it's just a max effort sprint and seeing what you can do. Okay. So last sips of water. And then relax. As I say, bringing the power back up to level, keeping the cadence upwards of 80 RPM. So 2 minutes to go, and then it's the last effort. A lot harder than 59 TSS, am I right? Okay, so we should be back up to target 60-65% of FTP, spinning up over 80 RPMs again, pedaling nice and efficiently, getting ready to do some serious work on this final sprint. It's just a bit of fun, guys. Last effort. Let's see if we can get a bit of a peak power going. A personal best over 20 seconds. Right, 1 minute to go. This is to complete the set. We've gone through all the training zones. This is zone 7, using what's called our phosphocreatine system, your explosive anaerobic energy system, giving it full beans over 20 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds to go. Let's get revved up then. Okay, so picking up the power a little bit. Make sure we're on target. Definitely picking up the leg speed. Okay, 10 seconds. Let's build it up in our head. Let's really go for this, guys, okay? 5 seconds. Come on, pick up the leg speed. Let's get ready to drop the hammer. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Come on. Max level sprint, guys. Come on. Everything you've got. Halfway, 10 to go. Keep pushing all the way to the end. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Well done. And done. Okay. Well done, everyone. Relax. Breathe. Down to a recovery level now. Okay. Just spinning up the legs. So guys, just a quick little recap of what we've been doing in this session. Okay, we're doing the blind pacing efforts, and all this is kind of the starting point in terms of kind of improving your instinctive assessment of effort. Okay, so have a look, take a few minutes after the session, have a look at your data, just have a look at those graphs, see how the lines, how they deviate for when you were sighted and unsighted. Is it smooth, or relatively smooth at least, or are there big peaks and troughs in your power? Is there a big change in your cadence? Does it drop off? You know, all those kinds of things. Have a look at your heart rate as well. That'd be interesting. See if your heart rate increases when your eyes are shut. May well not, but have a look at it, guys. Let's see what's there. So the question I got was, is this a good session to look at for decoupling? So decoupling is the separation between the relationship between your power and your heart rate. They are, yeah, I guess you could. They're sort of, but looking at decoupling is best done when the efforts are properly steady state. So if you've got a long interval of a consistent power level, I'd have a look at it. There's definitely nothing wrong with looking at it. I'm not sure it's going to tell you tons. It might just tell you if you're a bit tired or something, particularly with the threshold effort. I think usually that, for me anyway, I find the threshold efforts are usually kind of give you a really a good idea of kind of whether you're fatigued or not in terms of by the decoupling ratio. But yeah, probably feeling it anyway if you are tired. So that's maybe one use, but otherwise, yeah, this may not be the session for it really, but have a look nonetheless. Okay, 30 seconds left, just chilling out, guys. Answer any questions if anyone's got any. Otherwise, really well done. Hopefully nice to do something a bit different. The next session, we've got a 20-kilometer time trial, guys. So okay, so keep your heads up on social media, and in particular on the RGT events group. We'll put more details up about that. There is a warm-up to go with it as well, don't worry, it's all taken care of. Yeah, so details on that will be up on the website or social media. Okay, so that's the next session, and that one you definitely do want to check the decoupling ratio on that TT. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you all guys next week in some form. But otherwise, if anyone's got any questions, I'll stick around. But well done, guys. Hopefully that was enjoyable to some extent. But well done. Nice one, guys. Thanks very much for your company. No worries, guys. Thanks so much for your company, everyone. I'll see you next time. Well done.